Must know statistics about long-term care. The pandemic edition. All right, so this is from Morningstar. Christine Benz has written this. One of y'all had sent this to me, so mucho gracias. That means thanks a lot in Spanish. Yeah, I speak Spanish. No, but all right. So there's old Christine from Morningstar. Dateline December 8th, 2020. Actually, Amar sent this to me. Amar Shah. 100 must-know statistics about long-term care, the pandemic edition. Who receives care, who provides it, the economic costs, and devastating effects of COVID-19. The coronavirus pandemic has had a devastating effect on people in long-term care settings. Thanks, Cuomo. Thanks, Murphy. Thanks, Wolfie. Who else? Cuomo. I'm sure. Whitmer, half-wit. The More than 700,000 cases of COVID-19 have occurred among the long-term care residents and the staff who assist them. The death toll has been particularly alarming. Even though just 1% of the U.S. population resides in a long-term care facility, those long-term care deaths represent 40%. I wonder if there's something we could have done to save people's lives. If there's only something we could have done. It's almost like New York had a problem with too many people in long-term care facilities. Which they do, because it's a number 2 line item on the New York State budget. It's just right behind education. So it will not be the number 2, well, probably still be number 2 line item, but will be significantly lowered now. The pandemic has exacted a toll on long-term care residents in smaller but still meaningful ways too. Because of limitation on seeing families, friends, and residents, many long-term care residents have been experiencing deep isolation, which has exacerbated mental health challenges that many such individuals face. Yeah. All right. As a result of these, many older adults and their families are reconsidering institutionalized long-term care. In fact, this is interesting. Occupancy in skilled nursing facilities has declined by 10 percentage points since the pandemic began. Now, deaths have contributed to that, but so have preemptive decisions to receive care at home or other settings. If you haven't pulled your head out of your behind now and say, why would I want to put grandma or mom in a nursing facility knowing that a governor like Cuomo, the Grammy killer, or Murphy, or freaking Wolfie, or Halfwit could kill my grandparents against their will and I couldn't see them? Look, drafting people and sending them off to Vietnam is a huge violation of personal liberty. This is next right here. This is evil stuff. They should be going to jail for that. It's nuts. The idea that you have to go to these facilities by order, I don't even think it's a law, by a decree by the governor. And if you don't, you go to jail. And if you do, you go and get sick and die. And while you're sick and die, you can't have family to come see you. It's freaking evil, dude. But Josh, no, I don't want to hear any of that. I don't want to hear it. All right, so let's go. The pandemic effects. We have 782,000 number of COVID-related case in long-term care facilities. All right, so I don't want to go to the long-term care stuff other than I thought it was interesting. In August 2020, 73%, February 2020, 84.7% of nursing homes beds were occupied. So basically 8.5 out of every 10 beds were occupied in skilled nursing care. Remember, skilled nursing care is dementia, Alzheimer's, things of that nature. In August, it's only 73.8. That's a significant decline. That's over 10% decline in skilled nursing home bed occupants. That's nuts, man. 630 times the percentage higher likelihood of death from COVID-19 among people over the age of 85 than between 18 and 29, which is why you don't, it's just the whole thing. So, all right, let's see, 79% of COVID-related deaths that are of people who live in long-term care. Oh, we talk about North Carolina. Okay, gotcha. North Dakota. 105,000 of people in nursing home care died from COVID-19. All right, so let's just go to usage of long-term care. 70% of people turning 65 will need some type of long-term care services in their lifetime. So before you go out and buy a policy, just hang tight. 48% of people turning 65 will need some type of paid long-term care. That means they're going to have to get someone to come in on occasion. Okay, so again, in of itself, that's less than half of the percentage of people turning 65 will need paid long-term care. And again, these are estimates now. So if we go, let's see, where does they say? These are estimates from where exactly? Hold on just a second. Let's go down. Well, where do they say the estimates are from? Usually it's from Genworth. I don't see any estimates on here where this is coming from. That's interesting. Oh, you got to click the link. Okay, there you go. This is from HHS Basic Report, what lifetime risk and need long-term care supports. Okay, so HHS, Health and Human Services, says less than half of people turning 65 will need some type of paid long-term care. Are you hearing this? So A, you got to get to 65 first and foremost. B, less than half those who turn 65 will need some type of paid long-term care. I hope you're getting that, because that's a big flipping deal. So can you stop this? I need $300,000. Oh, it's crazy. 24% of people turning 65 will require paid long-term care for more than 2 years. Where's that coming from? That's from HHS. 24% of people turning 65 will require paid long-term care for more than 2 years. That's not a nursing home. That's just paid long-term care. Completely different between I'm in a full-time nursing home bed, a room, I should say. Okay, so less than a quarter of people turning 65 will need paid long-term care for more than 2 years. That's not. It's not. Let's just look at this, because that says will. Or is that is what is the lifetime risk of needing and receiving long-term care services and support? So let's see where they get this from. All right. This is from Health and Retirement Study. Okay, so all right here. This brief provides new evidence on the lifetime risk that older adults will need long-term care services and support. Using a longitudinal household survey data from 1995 to 2014 from the HRS at the University of Michigan, we estimated the likelihood that adults ever develop disabilities after 65 and receive paid care, including paid home care, residential care, nursing home care, Medicaid financed nursing home care. Interesting. It's weird that they don't say that in the front of what Christine just says. And the duration of need and care. Our results show that 70% of adults who survive to the age of 65 develop severe long-term care service and support before they die, and 48 will receive some kind of paid care over their lifetime. Only 24% of adults receive more than 2 years of paid long-term service and support, and only 15% spend more than 2 years in a nursing home. However, the lifetime risk of receiving paid care is not evenly distributed across the population. Lengthy spells of long-term care services, supports, needs, and paid care are much more common among older adults with fewer financial resources than wealthier counterparts. You know what that tells you, doesn't it? It tells you they're on Medicaid. So remember, this includes people on Medicaid as well. All right, so including paid home care, residential care, assisted living, nursing home, and Medicaid-financed facilities. But that you don't see that here, do you? 24% of people turning 65 will require paid long-term care. That's the whole thing's just freaking such a joke. 15% of people turning 65 will spend more than 2 years in a nursing home. Again, that's part of that is going to be Medicaid, a good amount, by the way. 3.7 average duration of long-term care need for women. 2.2 average duration of long-term care need for men. All right, the whole average is silly because it skews out the people who need it the longest. Part two of that, how much of that is paid? Where does this come from? Longtermcare.gov. 60, basically 2/3 of the people who stay in long-term care facilities are women. Yep. See, 64% of people with Alzheimer's are women. 32% of people who are age 85 or plus have Alzheimer's. So if you're over 85, a third of you will have Alzheimer's. That's not nearly as bad as what it used to be. They used to be like 50% of people who turn 85 would have Alzheimer's. That's significantly down. I don't know if it's because they're testing differently or what. All right. 146% increase in the number of people who've died from Alzheimer's dementia from 2000 to 2018. So more than double the people died from Alzheimer's. Well, that just makes sense because there's more people getting older. That doesn't shock me. But we have a declining percentage people, a decrease in the number of people who die from heart disease. All right, that's good because they're dying from Alzheimer's. Average life expectancy following an Alzheimer's diagnosis 8 to 10 years. Average length of time between symptoms begin when basically 3 years is average lifetime of when symptoms begin and when Alzheimer's dementia diagnosis is made. All right. Right here, 63% of individuals age 65 today will have no out-of-pocket long-term care during their time. 63%. Estimated percentage of individuals age 65 who will have no out-of-pocket long-term care. That's if you hit 65. I mean, this is from AARP, and they sell long-term care. That's freaking nuts, man. That was from 2018, so it's a little bit old, but 63% will have no out-of-pocket expenses. 13%, estimated percentage of individuals age 65 today who will incur out-of-pocket long-term care expenses between a penny and $50,000. All right, so 63% will have none. 13% will have 50,000 or less. So if we take our trusted calculator, that's over 3/4 of the population will have less than $50,000 of out-of-pocket expenses. 11% will have out-of-pocket expenses between $50,000 and $150,000 during their lifetime. So that's, what do we say, 76, 87? So 87% will have out-of-pocket expenses of less than $150,000. Do you need to keep working because of that? No. You sell your house and go into one. You got to have a mortgage paid. 4% will have under 250,000, and 9% will have more than 250,000 bucks. Okay, that means you self-insure. Is that all coming from the same study? Yeah, I bet it is. Here, let's just see. So 10% of the population will spend more than 200,000 bucks. I agree with that. I got no qualm with that. By the time you reach 65, a chance are about 50-50 you'll require paid long-term care. Is that what that said? 48% won't have any. Well, yeah. Yep. Okay. Is that from ARP there as well? Okay. Yeah. So 50% will have some kind of paid long-term care. Only 7.2% and don't forget that also includes people in Medicaid. Long-term care is an unsolved problem for so many people, says Christine Benz. We talked about her. Yeah, you probably haven't planned for financial risk. Only 7.2% of million Americans have long-term care insurance. You might not need insurance, but you need a plan. There's a new insurance in town. We've talked about that. Old school policies are cheaper. Yeah, the older ones you have are quite cheap. All right, so now they're citing cost. You require pay long-term care costs. Oh boy, Susie Orman. Oh boy, let's see what she said. Susie Orman explains the value of long-term care because remember, you need 8,000 million according to Susie Orman. All right, so my mama lived to be 97 years old. I was blessed to have the means to make sure she had the best care, but I'm so very aware that the 20,000 or more a month I spent for her assisted living and special aids during the last 7 years of her life is a huge sum of money that most households cannot afford. She was paying 20,000 a month. What's so sad is my mom is still eligible to get long-term care. Do you think any long-term care would have paid 20,000 a month there, Susie Q? What's so sad is my mom was still eligible to get insurance. I tried every single year to get her signed up for a policy. I told her, Mom, I'll pay for it. Please let me do it. She says, Susie, I don't want you to waste your money. Okay. Over $2 million later, I only wish she had listened to me. I'm grateful and blah, blah, blah. Earlier in my career, when I was working as a financial advisor, I watched so many couples struggle with the massive expenses of later life care. I don't think that's true at all. People that saved so diligently saw the retirement account swallowed up when one spouse needed care, either at home or in a nursing home. That often left the eventual surviving spouse in a precarious financial situation. That's why I'm such an advocate of LTC insurance. I say that eyes very wide open to the fact that the costs have shocked people. Blah blah blah. All right. The median monthly cost for a home health aide is over $4,000. A nursing home costs $8,000 a month, if not more. All right, so the bottom line is any type of insurance, you buy long-term care with expectation you'll never need it, blah, blah, blah. Does she? I bet Susie Orman sells long-term care insurance. Anyway, so she saw the risk to her mom, not the risk, but the expense to her mom. She goes, oh my God, oh my gosh, I got to make sure no one has that. All right, so I'm going to stop there. I'll put the thing in the thing. The whole idea is just nuts. Estimated lifetime cost of care with someone with dementia. Estimated lifetime cost of care with someone with dementia. All right, that doesn't make sense. So if you got dementia, they're saying the estimated lifetime cost is 321,000. Well, if how many people have dementia? Oh, I guess only 33% of the people over 85 have dementia. So I don't know. It seems a little bit high to me, but I'm not going to go through all these individually because it's going to bore me. Percentage of long-term care services support that are provided through Medicaid, 42% in 2016. Percentage of nursing home residents whose care is provided by Medicaid, 62% in 2015. Percentage of Medicare funding that went to pay long-term care costs, 30% of Medicaid funding went for long-term care. Yep, I tell you, man. I wish they'd say how much. I wish they would say how much the states have budget for Medicaid, because that's right. So there you go. I just look. I'm not saying no word, but I have long-term care. I've said that a million times a Sunday. I will drop it most likely when I hit 60 and my kids are out of the house and our house is paid off. But be that as it may, proceed. If you want to get it, I got no qualm with it. I frankly don't think it's what should keep you at some crappy old job where you're going to die because you're going to have a heart attack. I just don't see it. Yeah, I'd like to hear your thoughts. We'll see you.